Yo, 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 it's your boy Matrix back with another crazy episode of customer service where the customer is not always right. And guess what? I got my boy G back from the West Coast. I told y'all we was bringing him back because he got so many
Vegas in the house, baby.
Ridiculous, man. First of all, you know he's affiliated through the Eagles, Bird Gang. This is what we do. Super Bowl winners. Man, you just been giving us some crazy stories. I'm enjoying every one. You actually have another interview I have with you that's going to go up. I think yours goes up this Monday coming or the following Monday. I got to check the dates on. But we just appreciate you coming back. And I guess the question everyone knows, what you got for us today, man? What you got?
Man, I got another wild one for you, man. I got another wild one for you. And it's crazy, man, because when I think about all these careers I were in or jobs I was working in, it's just like, what was I doing with my life? How come I didn't stick around with one thing for such a long time? But, got to find your groove. You got to find your groove. Maybe the groove was to be on this podcast and share all that madness with you. Episode. What episode is this now, man? 3, 4 for me? What is this?
For you, this is part 4 for the total podcast. I have posted 35, but you'll be this one that we're recording right now would be like 40 or 41 when it goes up. So
okay.
Yeah,
we moving, baby. We moving. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it pushing, and we're gonna bring Las Vegas back up here because some of y'all that come here, man, y'all trifling, man. Y'all trifling. Y'all terrible. And we in the hospitality mecca.
Another crazy customer service. The customer is always right. Or should I say? Oh, what the hell is that? Today, I guess
the overlap.
She was here. If y'all, we can't do that. That's not good. I apologize for that, guys. We back.
We back. See, it's so electric, man. My other posts are trying to interfere with this one. It's electric, brother. The customer is not always right, and we're gonna nail it on the head today with a little concierge influence. And for all my concierges out there, man, shout out to you across the globe. Keys or no keys. If you're a concierge, you know what that means. Yeah, man, I gotta hit you with something, bro. And this thing has stuck to me for a while. Cause people do the damnedest thing. And you never realize how nasty people really are. And we did a podcast not too long ago, and I believe that title was "They So Nasty." Right? I believe, don't quote me, but I believe that's what it was. And this is another nasty situation. Okay. And I don't know. Hey man, let me ask you a question. How many times have you traveled? Have you been able to travel and stay at a hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where have you been?
Florida, New York, Houston, Atlanta. I've stopped at a couple other places. That's in the country.
That's a lot. Yeah, you're a traveler. You're nomad. So check this out, nomad. When you go to a new city and you check into a hotel, right? You have people at the front desk, right? And they provide a service for you to make sure you have a nice stay, a welcome stay. And we're not talking about horror stories of the hotel. We're talking about horror stories of the customer at this time, okay? So when you come in as a customer, right, some people have bad flights and they're grumpy, Some people are great and they're just living this life and they're coming in to have fun. They bring their date, and when you bring your date to a city, you fly with them, it's supposed to be a loving experience, and you come to the hotel, you check in, and you got an attitude. It's like, why is it the hotel guy that has to be your counselor with your attitude? That's one. Second, you're going to ask me to make sure that your stay is the best stay that you could possibly have, right? What can I do? Where can I go? Where can I eat? Where can I save money? Where can I splurge money? Where can I do shit that ain't legal? You know what I mean? Like, but this is a concierge life. Okay? We're not the front desk, right? I don't schedule your room. You schedule your room. You know,
Right.
we don't schedule your flights before you got here. You scheduled your flight before you got here.
Absolutely. That's your job. That ain't mine.
Hey, man, if you book Sprint, that's a Sprint attitude that you got to deal with. That's not the concierge attitude. I didn't book Sprint for you, you know.
Spring customer
But
service.
it's and it's just, man, you got to deal with people that come in here and they're crazy, bro. And so when they come to Las Vegas, they get even crazier, man. They get even crazier. And I love the couples. I love the couples that come in and they want to go on helicopter rides. You know, they want to drive fast cars and rent it and go to a racetrack. You know, they want to go and shoot heavy guns. They want to go to 5, 6, 7-star restaurants. And it's my job to know all these things, right? And so the ability of you to have a good time is like in the palm of my hand, right? So it's like I can control what your budget states for you to come out here and have an unforgettable stay, right? And I do it with a smile, right? And I got my suit on, my vest on. I'm in front of my computer. I use proper language and etiquette. You know, I'm professional. I'm communicative, and I'm also,
You're giving them the
I'm
experience.
yeah, I'm accommodating, right? So let me accommodate your room. Hey, excuse me. Do you know? Can you set my room up really nice? I want rose petals. I want balloons. I want, shape of a heart on the bed. I want a trail of rose petals from the bathtub all the way to the bed. I want oil on each side of the headboard. I want music playing. I want live flowers. I want candy. I want champagne. I want fruit trays. I want to do all this, and I need you to set this up for me. All right, got you, man. What's your room? This is your room? Okay, great. This is how much it's going to cost. All right, pay up front. Okay, great. And when I get you your room, I'm coming. You're gone for the day. You have to take your date out so she doesn't know what's going on. I'm coming to your room personally. This is not my hotel staff. This is not the help, right? This is not the heart of the house. This is me personally, the guy that you talk to face to face. I know what you look like. I'm gonna see you walking through the lobby or stumbling because it's Las Vegas, one way or another. So why you got your drawers on the floor, bro? Why you didn't flush the toilet? Why you got condoms all on the floor, just on different sides of the area? Luggage wide open, bra and panties everywhere, bro. Dirty ass socks that you wore from mismatched socks, by the way. Mismatched socks. You left your state. my guy, you left your state. And you bought a nice outfit, right? Because I seen the outfit when you came to my desk. It was cold. You had a nice suit on. You must have spent $1,000 on an outfit just to fly here, which to me is stupid, But either way, like you did that. And then I'm coming to your room and your socks don't match, bro. Got a hole in one. Man, got a hole in one sock, big toe poking through. Like, man, like you can't take your shoes off in the airplane. Try to relax when you're flying out there because you got your big toe sticking out your sock, bro.
He busting out. That's what he was. He busting out. Oh,
come on,
man,
Matrix.
what you doing?
Come on, Matrix. What do I have to do, bro? You know what I have to do? I gotta call housekeeping. So now that guesstimated time of what it's going to take for me to handle your room has just been delayed by however the availability of the housekeeping is. So now on your date, I have to contact you and say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, whoever it is that booked the room. Hey, I have to clean up your room and I have to schedule housekeeping to do it because I can't pick up any of the sexual paraphernalia that you've left behind, let alone your luggage is open and you have exposed, currency that's available. So somebody has to come and take care of this before I can come back and treat your room. And then now I've interrupted your date, right? And I've almost ruined the surprise, right? Because you ain't got your shit together. You know where the fuck you're going, bro. You know what you're doing. You paid for it. You snuck out of the room and said whatever you had to say to get out of the room. Or when she went to the restroom, you snuck away from her real quick and came to my desk and said, hey, boom, boom, boom. This is my room. This is what I need. Here's the plan. Couple $100. Here you go. Give me the change. Leave it in my room when you fix it. Copy. Get it done. You know, schedule it all out, budget it all out. I've done all this work. And at this time I'm pro, so I handle it quick, right? And I come to your room and this is what you leave me, man? You leave me with used condoms. You know, they're not even magnums either, man. So don't even try and pull it out like that, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. You know, you got holy socks, and I'm not talking about blessed by a pastor or anything like that. I'm talking about holy socks, the ones you forgot to change. Yeah, that you shouldn't have worn at the airport. Yeah, and then you got drawers on the floor, man. Come on, bro. That's nasty, man.
That's next level nasty and disgusting, right? And then she was in the room with him, so she's just as nasty as him.
Bro, and they equally nasty, bro. They both nasty together, bro. You know?
That's why they together.
Wow. I mean, dude, we handled it though, bro. We handled it for them to come back and the girl didn't realize, you know, and he proposed to her and all that. But dude, come on, man. You gotta do better than that, folks. You gotta do better than that.
Absolutely.
You guys
right. Yeah.
You gotta do better than that.
What are y'all doing? And she clearly
and then you got to come see me. And you got to come back to see me, right? You have to come back to see me because I'm the one that's organizing your check-ins for your airlines and all that other stuff, right? So it's like you got to come back and see me, right? Like, and then to do all that, and the worst of all, to not get a tip. I had somebody clean up your semen. Your semen.
We demand to know his name, okay? We are boycotting him, the whole country, everybody. What? I want to know his Facebook, his Instagram. We taking him down, people.
I don't remember it, bro. It was probably about 15 years ago, man.
How?
No, wait. 5. Wait. Let's do the math here. 2.
How do you not leave a
6?
tip? I'm confused. As a how
9 years ago.
Leave a tip. What would make you put someone through all that and go, yeah, I ain't leaving no tip. He got enough. Wait. You left.
Believe it. It happens. Some people believe that you get an hourly rate, so you shouldn't get tipped. Some people believe that, you know, and some people don't realize when you leave credit card tips, then we get taxed on those credit card tips, you know. And so
when you're trying to stop doing it,
yeah, and when you tip in cash, it's always best. When you slip something in the beginning, that helps your process go smoother, and then you finish it off with something, you know, with a different denomination, you know. But there's etiquette definitely to tipping in this industry, and especially here in Las Vegas. And when you're coming here for experience, us folks here in Las Vegas, this is what we survive off of.
Yeah,
you know, like you got to also think we never come to the strip, dude, at all. We're never on this fucking strip. Like we spend our time working on this trip, so why go back to it, you know? And then we got to go back there, and then people wonder why some people in Las Vegas have an attitude. Granted, they shouldn't. Customer service should be customer service. You should do everything with a smile, you know, and you should be professional. You should treat people fair. You should treat customers fair, but also that needs to be done in return as well. Like there's a common courtesy that most people don't have, and they like to point fingers and blame. You know, this person made a mistake, and then overreact, and then go ahead and leave a Yelp or whatever. I've only left one Yelp, maybe two Yelps in my time on a company. Okay, one Yelp, and I'm gonna tell you this. This was terrible. I was on a date, and we went to a cantina restaurant. Okay, I was on a date this time. I'm sitting in the table. I'm ordering my food. This waitress comes up to me, a server, female server, comes up to me and we're at the table. She comes up to us and I could tell she's swerving and swaying. Now, mind you, this is a dead restaurant, right? It's a dead cantina, right? And nobody's in there, maybe two gamblers and just the staff. A kitchen member, a server, and a bartender. right? The bartender's a supervisor, right? And so the server comes up to my desk or my table, and she leans on the table and then puts both hands on the table, like, "What can I get y'all?" But completely drunk, obliterated,
Sound like she
foobarred, smashed, right? Old school lit, right? Just slurring words, spitting saliva, right? And we're both like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey man, back up a little bit. Can you stand up for me? Like you're like right over the table, you know?" And she stands up and she's like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," and has to grab the table. And I'm like,
put herself in
"What
fault.
the fuck, bro? What the fuck is going on?" And I look at my date and I say, "Hey man, I just want some nachos and a couple of beers, dude, and then we're good. You can leave us alone, right?" So she goes back over to the bar, right? Sits over to the bar and she tells the bartender some shit. And now he's staring at me like I have a fucking problem, right? I'm like, I'm the bad guy because I told the server to get away from the table because she's slurring and spitting on my face while I'm sitting at a table.
I'm trying to figure out who's watching this woman and letting her stay on the clock.
The bartender was the supervisor, right? And so she goes back to the bar, right? He pours her a shot and is like, "Here." And they cheered and did a shot together. I said, "Hey, this motherfucking establishment is wild." Right? Now, at this very moment, at this time in my life, I am a concierge at this time in my life. Right? And so I'm in tuned with customer service this time. Right? And so I'm like, okay, nachos get there. As soon as she brings the nachos, she comes and just kind of slides them on the table, and nachos go, shh. Like, what the fuck? Right? And I'm looking at my date. And I'm just like, Matrix. I'm like, yo, am I tripping? Or is this really happening? Like, is this happening? Like, am I gonna be out of line for saying something? And she was like, "You're not gonna be out of line for saying something." And I said, "Okay, all right, cool. Check, please." You know, and I call for the check. She brings me the check, man. And I get on Yelp, right? Before I get on Yelp, I go to the bartender and I go, "There's nothing worse than being served by a completely intoxicated server, yet having the supervisor who was the bartender feeding them shots and encouraging them to get even more intoxicated on the job." You're dealing with money and you're dealing with people's lives that are leaving here. This is a popular area. This is like a college section. It's where all UNLV, it's by UNLV. So it's like all these young kids are there. So imagine what they're doing. You know, imagine what these guys are doing. They're going home fucked up. They can't walk, get into accidents, whatever it may be, right? They have no concern about other people's lives when it comes to how much alcohol they're serving people, and especially inside the establishment, serving your server that way, which is crazy. So I leave this Yelp, right, and I leave this descriptive Yelp just as I've explained to you on everything that happened, right, and to be charged for my bill. And for all of that, I paid for my bill and I put a $20 tip down. I said, this is the last 20 I hope you ever get. So, on some nachos and 2 beers, $20 tips, 100, it was probably 50% tip off the bill, right? And so I'm like, okay, this is it. Anyway, fast forward, the owner calls me that very evening, right? The owner calls me that evening, and he goes, "Hey, you left a Yelp. I don't know what the fuck that's about." And I'm like, okay. Because mind he leaves a message, "Hey, give me a call so we can solve this issue," right? And so that's how he got my phone number, and then that's how he calls me, right? And so he goes, "Hey, you left a Yelp. I don't know what the fuck that's about." And I go on. Go on. I want to go on. I'd like to hear more, man. What else you got to tell me, bro? Huh?
Like clearly, he know what I now know where the customer service come from. You're the owner, and this how you calling somebody?
Man. And so I go, "Listen, I come to your establishment. I wanted a margarita and I wanted some tacos. I was in the neighborhood. I heard about this place, so I stopped in. I come into your restaurant, and the server is completely obliterated. She can't walk straight. She's stumbling. She's slurring. She's spitting on my face as she's talking to me, asking me for my order. Okay? I wanted her out of my face. All I wanted was some nachos and a couple of beers, and we were going to go on our date. You know, we just wanted a quick snack before the hookah lounge opened up, and we're going right across the way to the hookah lounge. Man, it's closed right now, right? And so he was just like, well, I mean, did you have to leave that Yelp? And I go, why are you questioning me here, dude? Why are you not apologizing for the experience that I've had inside your establishment? And the guy goes, well, who the fuck are you to leave that message, right? And so now he's arguing with me, and he's telling me, who the fuck are you to be leaving that Yelp on there? And I said, so you're not going to question the server and the bartender, right? And he goes, well, the bartender is a supervisor, and he's my best friend, and I'm the owner. And I'm like,
so that's probably how that all go down.
and I go, your best friend is helping you bury your business, bro. Yeah. He's giving away the alcohol for free. He's wasting all the liquor, all the chasers, and everything else that comes with it. You have a minute amount of gamblers inside your establishment, so it's not like your establishment is making any money, you know? So if you're wondering why your business is failing, it starts from your customer service, and it goes on its way down from there. It does. And the way you're communicating with a patron, and you're telling me to take the Yelp down and you'll give me some free tacos and 2 more beers and another experience, I'm never coming back to your establishment ever again, bro. And especially for you to call me and say that you want to solve the issue, and instead of solving the issue, you want to point finger, blame, and question my ethic, you know, and my professionalism comes from a concierge background. So just so you know that, dude, since I worked for Caesars, right, as a VIP concierge, right, I would definitely not recommend anybody to come to this restaurant on their way to the airport before they fly away or fly in. Just so you know. And yeah, that's when he froze. That's when he froze. It was like, oh shit. Because it's one thing to bury yourself in Las Vegas on Yelp, but it's another thing to bury the people that promote your business for free.
Yeah.
You know? It really is. It really is. And it's another thing to request for a service. Understand that it takes a process, and then be disrespectful on the process, because the outcome that you expected isn't part of the process, you know? Mm-hmm. So shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah. He sucks for that. Yeah. Damn. That's horrible. She was pissy drunk. Her supervisor is allowed. That's what I said. That's his best friend. Either one of them or both of them is probably sleeping with her that you allow that. Because like you said, he's wasting the alcohol. Why would you continue to feed her that alcohol? And you see she's drunk. If she's drunk, you're supposed to go sit her down. If you're letting her serve, like, he's doing bad as a supervisor, and he know he can get away with it, and she's doing bad as an employee. So how can she get away with it? One of them sleeping with her. That whole thing is, you know, yeah, that ain't going well.
It's wild, man. It's wild. It's crazy. So this madness happens on both sides, you know. Yeah. Excuse me. It happens. It happens on both sides, and most of my bad experiences comes from the professional side of that, right? Being on the business side of customer service. Most of those bad experiences come from the people that come into Las Vegas, man. A lot of tourists come over here and they don't know how to fucking act, man. They do not know how to act.
They come to Vegas to let it all go. I'm not making an excuse for them, but they just go, whatever I don't want nobody to know, I'm doing it here. I'm going to be an asshole. I'm going to be a bitch. I'm going to be a hoe. I'm going to be ignorant. I'm going to be, and that's not an excuse. But unfortunately, I feel like that's where people go to just let all that out. But you shouldn't treat people that way. You just shouldn't. It's not cool. It's not cool at all.
And it's like to have to put up with that at the back end and then not be compensated for your fucking craziness is insane. You know, because it happens over and over and over and over again, dude. Over and over and over and over.
That's so wild. My man left condoms on the floor and didn't leave a tip. What?
What's that?
I said, how you gonna leave condoms on the floor and not leave a tip?
condoms, panties, bras, your luggage wide open, you know, dude, sex gel, fucking, you know, sheets fucked up. Like, you know, you shouldn't have to make your bed, you know, like housekeeping comes in and changes your sheets and pillows anyway. So that's pretty normal, you know, but for it to be left on the floor, like we're supposed to fold your clothes and put it back in your luggage, you know, and do your laundry for you, grab up all your dirty laundry and put it in a bag, hike it out, bring it back, and you're supposed to have your laundry done. That's not how that shit fucking works, man. That's not how that shit works, man.
Yeah.
You know, you need to tell me, hey, if you need your laundry done, you say, you ask me, hey, I need my laundry done. And I say, how many garments do you have? Are there any undergarments? Is it heavy, medium, or soft soiled garments? You know, okay, these garments go in this bag, this bag, this bag, and then I'll have it back to you at this date. You know, it'll be hanging up in your closet in your room by the time you get back. Right?
Proper way to do it.
That's how you do it. You know, you don't go, hey man, I need you to design, decorate my room in the most romantic way possible. You know, and I'm like, all right, great, and I show up, you know, and I've got fucking, you know, 3 loads blown on the ground, you know, you know, I got your nasty ass boxers, your holy socks, bro, your fucking, you know, your sweaty BO shirt and shorts and pants all over the place, shoes all over the place. Like, dude, come on, dude. Who the fuck raised you, bro?
These people got to do better. I want everyone that's watching this and listening to this, do better. It's disgusting. It's trifling. Okay?
Trifling.
Disgusting. Rude as ignorant. Okay? Customer service. Okay? Customer service. You guys got to do better. It's just, that's right. If you're going to Vegas, don't act the ass. Okay? I've never been to Vegas. I got to get out there. I do.
You got to get out here, man. You got to get out here, bro. We'll link up.
Hey, is the Eagles playing? Eagles not playing the Raiders this year, are they?
No.
No, it's not. I did.
No, wait. Are we playing the Raiders this year? I think we are playing the Raiders this year, but it's in Philly.
They come in Philly.
No, it's in
Philly.
Yeah, it's in Philly. Yeah, yeah. Because the last time we played the Raiders, the Raiders, we lost here in Las Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. Yep. Well, the next time the Eagles come to Raiders, come to the Vegas to play the Raiders, I'm gonna try to make that game. I don't know what hit the time.
Yeah.
I'll set up a sitter, and I'll come out.
And you know we got to link up. I'll take you. I'll take you around, and I'll show you some cool spots to go around here in Las Vegas, man. You know, and we'll get away from the strip. We'll do the whole tourist. You can do the whole tourist thing, and then we'll take you where the locals go and go hang out. We don't fuck around out there.
I can shoot a machine gun and ride a dinosaur and all that other stuff.
Hey, you can ride a tank. You can shoot a machine gun out of a helicopter. You can shoot a machine gun in seat position inside of a shooting range. You can go to another shooting range where you can drive ATV vehicles and go to what is called trap golf, where you have 18 different locations. You shoot different trajectories. There's 3 trajectories per location, and you take a 4-wheeler out there and you drive around to each spot and you shoot clays. There's over 100 different hiking trails here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is one of the hiking meccas. You can hike your way to the Colorado River if you choose to. You can hike to an above. It's like 200 feet high that you can look down into the Colorado River. I have that on my Facebook. If you want to scroll through my shit, you'll find it. There's another hike. There's a couple other hiking trails if you can go through hot springs all the way down into the river as well. During the wintertime, you can go skiing. Mount Charleston gets pounded with snow. There's dirt bike, desert trails that you can take. There's fishing that you can do out here. Man, I can go on and on and on and on, bro. This is the customer service mecca, bro. So I got so many stories out here, bro, because there's so many things to do out here.
I am going to make it my business to get out there. I'll try to make it for like a week, but I'll definitely do a weekend. But I'll try to make it a week come out there because I've never been. I saw my grandma when she was alive out there twice. She just liked to gamble, so she ain't do nothing but gamble. But I've never been.
Right.
So I promise you, I'm going to get out there. I guarantee you. God willing,
We'll make
I'm
it,
gonna hop on a
baby.
plane and I'm coming out there. You know. But
Make it
let's
happen.
wrap up this episode, ladies and gentlemen. My brother G from the West Coast. Okay, 4th episode. He will be back for 5th